What's up, fantasy champions? Spotlight Sports Network is excited to tell you about an amazing deal from Thrive Fantasy, your place for daily fantasy sports and esports. Right now, with promo code SS Network, Thrive Fantasy will match up to $50 of your first deposit. So go to thrivefantasy.com and sign up now with promo code SS Network. That's thrivefantasy.com, promo code SS Network.
From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider. Ain't shit you can tell me, I'm a Raider. Ain't shit you can tell me, I'm so nation. No matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider. Ain't shit you can tell me, I'm a Raider. Ain't shit you can tell me, so nation. No matter the location.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. What is going on, Raider Nation? Raider Nation, what is going on? What is going on, y'all? It's your boy Darian coming to you live with another live stream, y'all. Spotlight Raiders talk. What's goody? What's goody? What's goody? We're definitely in the building to talk some Raiders. I'm not going to get out of pocket today. I want to let the fans call up and say what they got to say about Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler or whatever. Hopefully, you know, y'all can be positive in the chat today. I'm not trying to be. Everybody call me Negative Nancy when it comes to being a Raider fan. They call me Negative Nancy. So hey, it is what it is. If I got that reputation, then I just got that reputation. But what is going on, everybody? What is going on? I'm actually waiting to see when the presser is coming on so I can actually play it, because I'm going to play it. I'm just going to wait for it to see when it comes on. So I'm checking it right now. Just give me 1 second, and I'm gonna shout out everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure you just subscribe. We on the road to still 7K. Still 7K. So with that being said, I heard the Raiders is having a presser today. That's what I was told, but I'm not too sure. So I'm about to go to the Raiders YouTube right now and see if they have a presser on right now. So you see Raiders for some reason. I'm just trying to find the Raiders YouTube channel. I don't know why it's acting all stupid. I don't see anything as far as a presser go. They said they supposed to have a presser today, but I don't see anything about a presser at this moment. So make sure y'all hit that like button, run them thumbs up, and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Yo, I'm at school. Drop a like. What's going on, J Taco for life? EJ Raider Cortez, Lonnie, what's going on? He said Chicago. Chocolate Intelligence is back. I don't know what that means by that. Dominique 5. The Goliath, all aboard. What's going on? All aboard. What's going on? DJ 8. Cool, if I said that correctly. Dante Davis was going on. Freddie Chavez was going on. Chris Cantaza, if I said that right, I'm sorry. Aurora FN, Dirt E Low, Nick 209, Robert Guerrero, B Al. Little Birdie told me the main reason we went with Josh because Davis didn't want to have a coach that was bigger than the brand, aka Gruden 2.0. I kind of disagree with that. Josh Daniels will not be Gruden 2.0. Town Business, Oakland, California, definitely in the building. Quiet Storm, Mac Marodovich, Card knows McDaniels offense from Musgrave in 2016. Jerry Miller, what's going on? I don't see anything wrong with the hires. Sleeping Angels was good. Brian Rodriguez and Gilbert Machacha. I'm sorry if I'm butchering these names. Ty Grimm, what's going on? What's going on? Make sure y'all come on in, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, man. It's the Spotlight Sports Network, Spotlight Raiders Talk, man. And make sure y'all go over to subscribe to the other two channels as well, which is Spotlight Sports Streams and the Spotlight Sports Network, man. We almost at 1,500 subscribers on the Spotlight Sports Network, and we'll be going live on Spotlight Sports Streams as well. Alex Jar, what's going on? Ray Love, what's going on? Ray's Kane, what's going on? Hopefully we could get Flores as a DC and doesn't get a head coaching job. Hey, you never know. No, Davis was afraid that Harbaugh would be Gruden 2.0, and I get that. Yes, I can definitely get that. But I feel like we didn't even try to interview him just to see what type of mindset that Jim Harbaugh was on. So we're definitely going to get into that. Then we're going to get into some other coaching stuff as well. Salute to everyone in the chat. Facts. Salute to Gustavo. What's going on, Gustavo? What's going on? Thanks for all of y'all tuning in. Hopefully, I want to open up the phone lines. I do want to open up the phone lines, but y'all was blowing up the phone to the point where the phone was broke. So I'm just kind of nervous to open up the phone lines. Right. He only interviewed with Chicago and Minnesota is what I told. I don't know Sleeping Angels. I really don't know. Bernard Jr. What's going on? What's going on? Chaos Raider. What's going on? But let's get down to the nitty gritty of things, man, and let's do this the right way, because I don't want my live to be out of pocket like it used to. Like, I want to go back to the ways that Spotlight Raiders Talk podcast used to be. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be feeling like I'm a negative Nancy. I always got something negative to say about the Las Vegas Raiders, and that's not even the case, y'all. It's not even the case. So apparently McDaniels laid out his entire offensive plan. He thinks that Colin Waller and Renfro could thrive during that dinner he had. I don't know where you're getting that source from. So I don't know where you're getting that source from, but we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. We're going to get down to it. So make sure y'all smash them thumbs, man. I'm just trying to get everything set up as we can speak. So we got a lot. We have a lot to talk about, man. A lot to talk about. I know I put out some quick videos yesterday about the GM and the head coaching, and that's going to be one of the top topics that I have on here. I do have some other topics outside of coaching. I want to talk a little bit of the draft. I want to talk a bit of the free agency. When is the press starting? I don't know. I looked on their YouTube channel and I don't even see one. I don't have not a notification for their presser. So once I get the notification, then we'll, hopefully it might be 5:00 my time, because the West Coast is 3 hours behind me. So probably 5:00 my time, but I have not seen nothing from the presser yet. You can't disclose sources, bro. We YouTubers, bro. YouTubers, man. Come on. You gotta at least, close some information. You don't gotta tell me over the over YouTube. You can always hit me up, bro. You know that. You know that, bro. Come on now. Let's get to 7K, ladies and gentlemen. I really want to get to 7K. As of right now, we're almost like less than 200 away. I think we're 110 away. I don't think you're negative. Mostly you just speak the truth and some don't like it. Hey. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's true too. That's true too. So that could be another stint in itself. I wish I could have been in here for the live play-by-play and reaction. I understand y'all don't like the Kansas City Chiefs, and I know y'all don't like the San Francisco 49ers, but those two lost. So I wish I was in the live play-by-play and reaction, and I will be doing the Super Bowl on this channel as well. So make sure y'all tune in to all of that. But I'm trying to get this thing to switch. So for some reason, I don't know what's going on here. Just give me 1 second. I'm having like issues with my Google account. It's acting real stupid for some reason. Just give me 1 second here. I don't know what is going on with my Google account. It's just, for some reason, it's just acting weird. It's just acting weird at this moment. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen, because I know I want to get down to the nitty gritty of things. So hey, let me just try to get this done on here. So yeah, that's actually verified. So that's good. Okay, cool. All right. So I'm going to share the screen here. But this is my thing about Josh McDaniels, right? Who is your pick in a Super Bowl? I'm taking Cincinnati. Mahomes is about to feed Renfro in the Pro Bowl. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty of things. Shall we? For some reason my mouse was frozen. So let's talk about it, man. The Raiders is coming in with a new head coach, and that is Josh McDaniels. Now, a lot of people do not like this hire. I love the hire because people get mad at me about, oh, he has not succeeded. He's not a winner. He's not this. He's not that. But he is a winner. And he was even a winner in Denver, even though that his record doesn't show it. He does have a playoff win with Denver. So we're not going to sit here and act like Josh, just because he's an offensive coordinator and not a head coach. The offensive coordinator is the original play caller. If you know football, most of the time head coaches don't call the plays. They don't. Head coaches don't call the plays. I've been in a head coaching position. I've been in an offensive coordinator's position. I can say 90% of the time, it's the offensive coordinator that's putting the game plan together. They just got to run it through the head coach just to get that actual yes or say so of the game plan. So if people want to say that Josh McDaniels is not a winner, then you're wrong. Then you're absolutely wrong. Look with Sean McVay. Sean McVay was an offensive coordinator for years with Washington and other places. And the Rams gave him a chance to be a head coach. And look where they're at. They're back in the Super Bowl. So people fail to realize that stint in Denver, right? He was trying to be the next Bill Belichick and with that stint in Denver. And now I think he's much more. When Josh McDaniels got that head coaching job at Denver, he was very young. I think he's well matured. I think he's 45 right now. He's 45 years old. So he's not a young coach, but he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to win in this league. He knows how to be successful in this league. Look at the quarterbacks that he got. Look at the quarterbacks that, even though Tim Tebow wasn't his best, Tim Tebow was not his best. I could completely agree with that. But Mac Jones in his first year got him to a playoff. Jimmy Garoppolo went 11-5, but they missed the playoffs. And of course, you had Tom Brady. He knows how to work with quarterbacks. And I think this is the right fit for him, in my opinion. It's the right fit. So you got a successful offensive coordinator that know how to work with quarterbacks. And then you bring in a GM in Dave Ziegler. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Dave Ziegler. But look what he did last year for the New England Patriots. He brought in Kendrick Bourne, a wide receiver. He brought in Hunter Henry. He brought in Jonnu Smith. He brought in Kendrick Bourne. On the defensive side, J.C. Jackson. He brought in Matthew Judon. He went out and got the players that fits what Josh McDaniel runs on the offense and what Gerard Mayo runs on the defense. So we're not going to sit here and act like Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler, whatever his name is okay. He's okie dokie. So at the end of the day, people need us like Tomato Land saying we need a new QB in Las Vegas. You got to give it a shot. How many coaches that Derek Carr had year after year after year, and he excelled with every coach? Is it live now? Because I don't see it. Because I really don't see it. So I'm about to go to YouTube right now. And I'm subscribed to the Raiders, so I don't see it. You want to be enemy, but be enemy. The reason why Mark Davis was not going to go get be enemy, and a lot of people are falling back from the enemy because he has domestic violence charges. He's going through a domestic violence case from what I remembered. So, with that being said, when it comes to Josh McDaniels, let's just look at the coaching career, and look where he started from. Look at the experience that he has. He began his coaching career as a senior graduate assistant at Michigan State University back in 1999 under Nick Saban. Parlaying his dad's friendship with Saban, after assisting the Michigan State, Daniel moved to Cleveland and worked as Pulisic sales representative. Now, he was with the New England Patriots from 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005 to 2008. And he started out as a personnel assistant. From 2002 to 2003, he served as a defensive coaching assistant for the team, working with defensive backs in 2003. 04, he became a team's quarterbacks coach after that. And then for the 2005 season. So according to the New York Times, it said in 2008 that McDaniels, who called the offensive plays in 2005 season, all those suggestions were made in 2005. So after that season, McDaniels was officially promoted to offensive coordinator while retaining his responsibilities to coaches teams of the quarterbacks. This guy has experience. People need to realize what I'm saying here. We're going through the history of Josh McDaniels because everybody's going to throw everything at me for Josh McDaniels. 2007, McDaniels was at the helm of the offense, and the Patriots set NFL records in 2007 with 75 touchdowns, 67 on offense, 50 passing, and 17 rushing, with 589 points, leading to rumors that McDaniels might lead the Patriots for a head coaching job. You can't beat that as an offensive coordinator that scores 75 touchdowns, 60 of them on offense, 50 passing, and 17 rushing. You cannot be mad at those type of numbers from a Josh McDaniels. Come on, y'all. So let's keep it going because a lot of people are going to have a lot to say when they replay this podcast. So McDaniels withdrew from his name from consideration, but however, during the Patriots' January 2008 playoff run, shortly after the Patriots lost in the Super Bowl, Patriots head coach Bill Belichick gave McDaniels a 5-page type report on what it takes to be an effective head coach and run a winning organization, with McDaniels termed as his Bible. So throughout the 2008 season, it's only 2 that met the discuss to report and allow McDaniels to ask 9 coaching questions that brought him a head coaching interviews. So mind you, the starting quarterback at the time was Tom Brady, that suffered a season-ending injury in week 1 of the 2008 season. McDaniels directed to Matt Castle, another quarterback, Matt Castle, that led the Patriots offense as the team finished with 11-5 record with Matt Castle. He had an 11-5 record with Matt Castle. You cannot tell me he can't turn quarterbacks around and make them better. Matt Castle. Olsen is not a better OC than McDaniels, and McDaniels is definitely an upgrade from Rich Bisaccia as a head coach. It's a fact. It's a known fact. But just let y'all know that in 2009 he did get the Denver Broncos head coaching job, that they named him the head coach to replace Mike Shanahan. He did have a 4-year, $8 million contract, which he didn't have a lot. That $8 million for 4 years, that's not nothing. So as the head coach in the press conference said the next day, so McDaniels' tenure with the Broncos was married early on the controversy involving the alleged trade offer from the Patriots involving team's quarterback Jay Cutler, who have sent Matt Castle to Denver. So Jay Cutler was a terrible quarterback while he was in Denver. So let's just be real. There. Josh, we all knew that Jay Cutler was not a good quarterback. Matt Castle was coming off 11-5 record. And, Cutler failed to resolve so many issues with himself, and McDaniels did not trust him at all. And McDaniel and Jay Cutler didn't trust McDaniels. But I think it was because all of the trade controversy that they had. So in April of 2009, the Broncos trade Cutler for a 5th-round pick to Chicago and for quarterback Kyle Orton a first and third round picks in 2009 and a first round pick in 2010. So that 2009 season, McDaniels had 6 straight wins, including overtime win over the Patriots in Week 5, suffering 4 straight losses. Now, in the last game of the season, McDaniel and the Broncos still had potential to have a playoff berth on the line and lost to Kansas City 44-24, which a lot of teams lose in that number when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs. 3rd straight home loss to a division opponent, which is completely understandable. That left the Broncos at an 8-8 season record. Controversy surrounding McDaniels for his benching of a Pro Bowl wide receiver, Brandon Marshall, for a game due to disciplinary reasons, and Marshall will be traded to the Miami Dolphins afterwards. See, this is my thing. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. People can say what they want about it. Jay Cutler was a Pro Bowler, but Jay Cutler was trash as a quarterback. He was trash. Trash. And technically, he didn't trade for Tebow. He traded for Kyle Orton. So, Bobby, you got your facts wrong because I just read it off. You got your facts wrong. So he traded for Kyle Orton. He didn't trade for Tim Tebow. He traded for Kyle Orton. But neither or less. But this is what I like about Josh McDaniels. If he's not going to take no bullshit, if you're not willing to buy in right now, he's going to trade you. He's giving, technically, he doesn't give 0 fucks, but he does. He doesn't give 0 fucks. He's going to let it be known. He's going to let it be known that if it's a disciplinary action and you messed up as a football player, you will not be here. That's the Patriot way, and it might just be the Raider way. Bro, I just said it. Bobby. I just said it. It says, and I'm going to repeat it. On April 2nd, 2009, the Broncos traded Jay Cutler in 2009 5th-round pick to the Chicago Bears for quarterback Kyle Orton for a 1st round, a 3rd-round picks in 2009, and a 1st-round pick in 2010. I just read it off. It was for Kyle Orton. So with that being said, what are you talking about, Bobby? Yeah, you need to go check the facts, bruh, because I just read it off to you. And I completely understand the whole thing with him being 11-17. I could completely understand that. But that's only in 2 years. 2 years with Denver. It's time. And the only reason why he drafted Tim Tebow in the 1st round, because Tebow was hot. Tebow was hot coming out of college, y'all. Let's just be real. He drafted Tim Tebow, and they got the pick from the Bears. But Tim Tebow was a hot commodity coming out of college. Nobody could tell me that Tim Tebow wasn't a top quarterback coming out of college that year. Nobody could tell me different. So, hey, Black Raider. Hey, Black Raider WP, thanks for the $2 super chat, bro. I really do appreciate it, but I do want to let you know that we are going to talk about that as well. We are going to talk about that as well. He didn't trade up in the draft and get Tebow. Am I wrong? Yeah, I mean, he did trade up to get Tebow, but Tebow was a hot commodity. Nobody was going to draft Tebow, so you need the fact check. That's for you too. Nobody was going to go for Tebow. Yes, they were. If you could go for a Johnny Manziel, you're definitely going for a Tim Tebow. Yes, he wasn't going for him as a quarterback, but he was going for him as a talent. I mean, he did. Yeah, I Anthony Estrada, I'm not really worrying about the Rumble anymore, bro. I'm not really worried about the Rumble no more, bro. I'm really not. But people fail to realize this, right? Josh McDaniels can win in this league if he has the right personnel. And just like Teddy Bruschi said, y'all, Teddy Bruschi said it himself. He said it himself that He was trying when he had the stint at Denver, he was trying to be the next Bill Belichick. He was trying to be the next Bill Belichick. He was young when he took that. Thank you, Raider Critique. Thank you, Raider Critique. I think the rest of you forget that Tim Tebow beat the Chiefs, beat the Chargers to go into the playoffs and beat the Steelers with a Josh McDaniels. So we're not going to sit here and say nothing about that. Yeah, I'm going to be live for the presser. I will be live for the presser. No, it would not. So drafted Tebow. Mind you, y'all have to think about what year this was when he was a Denver Broncos head coach. 2009 and 2010. Y'all really going to hinder him from that? Come on. Come on. This is the problem with the Raider Nation. Y'all, the presser is 5 o'clock. This is the problem with the Raider Nation. Y'all don't want to give nobody a chance. Just because it's not Jim Harbaugh, just because it's not Brian Flores, you don't want to give coaches a chance. Kyle Shanahan, he got a chance as a head coach. Sean McVay got a chance as a head coach. Why he can't get a second stint? Why? Why? Your whole grudge is so bad. He was 2010. Y'all still going off a head coach that was 2000. How old he was in 2010? He's what, 45 right now? He's 40. What? He's 40. He's 45. So he was very young when he was a head coach. Y'all gotta learn. The Raider Nation have to learn how to be optimistic. It's a, hey, Scrummy, if it's a terrible hire, who is better than Josh McDaniels out right now? Because Jim Harbaugh did not want to be a Raider. He didn't want to be the coach of the Raiders. Brian Flores is unproven. Outside of him being a Miami coach. He was 32 years old in 2010, still young. He don't fit with, listen, how do you know a coach don't fit with y'all? How do y'all know? This guy likes to run the football. That's what y'all like. We like to run the football too, right? With Josh Jacobs and Jalen Richard and Kenyon Drake. We like to run the football, right or wrong. So how does he fit? He likes to run a 2 tight end set. We got 2 tight ends that can run a 2 tight end set, and Waller and Moreau. Come on, y'all. Y'all got to give it a chance. And this is the problem with the Raiders. This is why the man has 6 rings. Enough said. I don't need to explain nothing else. The man has coached some good quarterbacks. He made a bum-ass Matt Castle, a bum behind Matt Castle, 11-5. He took a rookie in Mac Jones and took them to the playoffs as the OC. Then he coached Jimmy Garoppolo, which was 1 game away from the Super Bowl. And of course, he has 6 rings with Tom Brady. So if that's not proven enough for you, then I don't know what y'all want. I do not know what y'all want. And Dave Ziegler, the new GM, he knows how to draft. He knows how to get free agency. Y'all is weird. You must not forgot he turned down Dave Ziegler. It was a player personnel in New England, and brought in Matthew Judon. He brought in Nelson Aguilar. He brought in Kendrick Bourne. He brought in Hunter Henry. He brought in Jonnu Smith. He brought in J.C. Jackson. He brought in a lot of players on that defensive side and offensive side of the ball. Come on. Understand that you want Jim Harbaugh, but Jim Harbaugh didn't want us. So you have to get over it. You have to get over it. Jim Harbaugh is so interested in the Minnesota Vikings, he didn't give 2 shits about us. So why the fuck are we worrying about a Jim Harbaugh when Jim Harbaugh didn't even want to interview with us? Stop it. Stop it. That has to stop with the Jim Harbaugh talks. It has to stop. It would have been John Gruden all over again if we would have got Jim Harbaugh. It would have been John Gruden all over again. All right, Scrumby, you're a scrum. You're out of here, clown. If he wanted us, right? If he wanted us, right? Why did he wait to make a decision to come back to the NFL after Josh McDaniels got hired? Why did he do that? Because from what I'm hearing from sources that I know that work for the University of Michigan, he didn't even tell those kids that he recruited that he was leaving for the NFL again. Come on. He was still undecided at the time that we wanted to interview him. He was still undecided. Mind you, I know somebody that plays for Michigan. I know somebody that works for the coaching staff for Michigan. So I have my sources. So when it comes to Jim Harbaugh was telling them he's staying at Michigan, but he's telling the NFL he wants to come back to the NFL. So which one is it? Mark Davis was not waiting around for him to make a decision. So if I'm Mark Davis and I am an owner, why do I have to wait for a head coach to make a decision if he wants to leave college or come back to the NFL when you have all these other coaches that I could interview? Jason Bowman, I know. Listen, I'm not going to name the player's name that plays for Michigan because I don't want to throw them under the bus, and I'm not going to name the coaching staff that I know that coaches under Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. I'm not going to throw them under the bus here. I'm not going to do it. But if I'm wrong on Harbaugh, why am I getting these sources? Why am I getting these sources? Come on. Listen, as a coach and a player that plays for Michigan, bro, if I don't know who my head coach is if I'm a player for Michigan. So people can say whatever they want, and I really don't care what y'all say in this chat. People can say what they want. At the end of the day, I'm going to keep it a buck. That's one thing I don't lie about. I get my facts. And I get them straight up. I get my facts. So people can say what they want. They can say what they want. And people can say, oh, I've been critical of Carr, but Josh McDaniels is good for him. Hey, once 5 o'clock hit, I'm going to play the presser. I'm going to play the presser at 5 o'clock. Because at the end of the day, man, I want people to realize that sometimes, even though he comes from a Patriots organization, a winning organization at that, comes from a winning organization, you got to give this man a chance, Raider Nation. I'm not going to get hype anymore. I'm not going to get rowdy anymore. Y'all can say what y'all want. If you look at the years that he ranked in top, this guy as a head coach, and I'm gonna say this again, he has when Josh McDaniels was at the helm for the offense, the Patriots set NFL records in scoring touchdowns and points under him. So what are we saying here? What are we saying? These guys had 75 touchdowns, 67 on offense, 50 passing and 17 rushing and 589 points, and that record still stays there till today. And that's with Josh McDaniels at OC as an OC. Mind you, Tom Brady didn't have the best weapons in the world. Let's be real there. Tom Brady did not have the best weapons in the world, but he made it work. The Patriots made it work. So what's the whole problem with McDaniels? Because he's a Patriot? Y'all gotta let that guilt go. Y'all gotta let that guilt go. Sometimes I say stuff about the tuck rule and stuff like that, but this guy wanted to coach us. He took the job for a reason because he wanted to coach us. Mark Dale was not waiting around on Jim Harbaugh. Was not waiting around. So if you butthurt about the tuck rule after all these years, then get over it. Get over it. It's time to let that hurt go. It's time to let that. He's a Raider now. He won 6 championships with the Patriots. He's the head coach, and we got Dave Ziegler, the GM from the New England Patriots, coming over here to be the GM for the Raiders. They wanted to be here. They wouldn't have left New England. They was going back to a winning culture in New England. They could have stayed there, but they wanted to come here. They wanted to come here. So that's what y'all got to learn. That's what y'all got to learn. Y'all got to learn to let that hurt go. Because the more y'all let that hurt go, you will not see this team succeed. But I don't think he's going to, that's the thing, Action Jackson. I don't think he's going to go up what he did in the past. Mind you, he was a head coach back in 2010. That is so long ago. 12 years ago, he's been a head coach. 12 years. Exactly. You hate Brady in the tuck rule, but that was not on Josh. It's not. Come on, man. People have to learn to let that hurt go. And as us as Raiders fans, I understand that we passionate, but we are too picky on who we want. Sometimes it don't have to be even though that Josh McDaniels is not a favorite name, he's not a favorite name. So if a coach want to be here, let him be here. Brian Flores, bro. Brian Flores took the Miami Dolphins to the playoffs last year. So what are we saying? And think about this is my thing. Y'all want to talk about, the people under Bill Belichick, right? If you look at the teams that these coordinators went to, these teams, Matt Patricia, you could put any coach there. I could ask y'all to be a coach for the Detroit Lions, and the Detroit Lions would never win. Never. So Matt Patricia not succeeding in Detroit, no coach has succeeded in Detroit. Let's be realistic there. Let's be real. Thank you, Jay Bunny E. Thank you, Bunny. Thank you. I appreciate it. But Matt Patricia, I understand. Matt Patricia failed. But who wouldn't fail with a bum-ass Detroit Lions team? That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all gotta really, really understand this shit, man. I like the new regime. What better organization to get the guys from New England? Facts. Listen, we just gotta give them a chance, bro. We gotta give them a chance. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. And I'm gonna say this too. Another prime example, right? Zach Taylor, head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. Zach Taylor, they live? Okay. Most likely it's going to take forever to pull up. You know how that goes. It's going to take forever to pull up. You know they're gonna take forever to do that. So I'm gonna just turn my Bluetooth on. All right, so just give me 1 second here. Just give me 1 second. What's going on, y'all? Not my first choice, but I think we're going to be fine. Yeah. So I'm gonna pull up the presser while we here. So I know a lot of y'all are in the building. I know a lot of y'all about to go over there. I know a lot of y'all about to go over there. But hey, it's fine.
We've paid out over.
Oh darn! I don't know what just happened. Yeah, I'm gonna just wait for them to come up. At this point, you said at this point, I think differently because the shit with losing mentally draining. And Josh McDaniels is not a loser, y'all. Josh McDaniels is not a loser, man. He's not a loser. But I'm definitely going to play the presser for y'all. Make sure y'all hit them like buttons, man. Hit those like buttons, run them up. Let's get to 7,000 subscribers, y'all. Let's get there. Let's get to 7,000 subscribers. Let's do it. Let's do it. The curse is gone. Tom Brady's retired. Josh brings rings. Hey, Patriots are our rivals. You know that, right? Yes, I do. I do know that they are our rivals, but some things you just gotta let go. Some things you just gotta let go. He left the Patriots to come to an enemy. What are we saying? What are we saying? Jim Plunkett was a Patriot. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. But he was a Patriot, but let that sink in. I'm just saying. DeMokes, you was on point with that one, bro. You was on point with that one. Yeah, you just got to get over it, man. He's a Raider now, man. He's a Raider now. Not too much of a rivalry. Yeah, that's true, Troy Romero. People are just still butthurt from the Tuck rule and all the years that the Patriots been winning. And I think he comes over here and helped this franchise become winners on a consistent basis. Just got to give him a shot. And was I a big fan of him coming here? No, I was not. But you got to give this man a shot. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. But going back to my take with Zach Taylor, right? Zach Taylor. Who knew Zach Taylor before he was the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals? Please let me know in the chat. Did you know who Zach Taylor was? Did you know who Zach Taylor was when he was at the Bengals? Did anybody know who the hell he was? Do anybody know Zach Taylor's resume before he went to the Cincinnati Bengals? No. He drafted correctly. Who was my top 3 candidates? McDaniels was one of them, but he was my number 3. My number 2 was Brian Flores, and my number 1 was Joe Brady. My number 1 was Joe Brady. Raiders right about to have the pressure spot. Like, yeah, I'm waiting for it to start. I'm actually looking at it now, and once they come on, then I will turn the volume up. But until then, I can't do nothing right now because we're just waiting. We're just absolutely waiting. So it would have been Joe Brady, Brian Flores, and Josh McDaniels. They was my top 3 candidates that I thought that probably would fit to be a Raider, to be the Raiders coach. Because Joe Brady is an offensive minded. Once it comes on, you'll hear the audio. Yes. I will turn the audio on once it comes on. 1976, the Patriots got schooled by the officials. In 2001, the Raiders got screwed by the officials. No need to hate for each other, hate the officials. Talk that talk. Talk that talk. Brother, I appreciate all the work you do in the updates, my guy. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate all the love and support, man. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram. I know I'm not really active on Instagram like I'm supposed to be, but make sure y'all follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter too as well. Y'all see it at the bottom. I am on Facebook as well. The Spotlight Raiders Talk is the same thing, but Here we go. The audio is here.
Hey, Will.
Turn these up real quick. Code up. All right, so here we go.
Ready for me?
Mark Davis is about to come up now. So
I'd like to welcome everybody to today's press conference. We'll begin with some opening remarks from Las Vegas Raiders owner Mark Davis.
All right, so here goes Mark Davis, ladies and gentlemen.
How's everybody doing today? It's kind of loud. Just down a bit.
Y'all can hear it, right? Or y'all need me to turn it up?
As y'all know, 2021 was quite a season for the Raiders. Ups and downs. But in October, we got shook to the core when our head coach resigned 5 games into the season. And at that time, we had to make a quick decision on who was going to lead the Raider team that John and Mike Mayock had built for this season. And after careful consideration, we chose Rich Bisaccia, the special teams coach. Number one, because we felt it would be less distraction than taking, say, Gus Bradley from defense or maybe Tom Cable from offensive line. And despite the fact that we didn't get where we wanted to get to this year, and that's the Super Bowl this week, I'm so proud, and they should be so proud of the job that they did. With all the chaos, and I will call it chaos, going around the team, not only with the things that were going on off the field, but on the field as well, COVID and everything else, they truly went the Raider way.
Sure
and
did.
I'm really so grateful to Rich Bisaccia and the rest of the coaching staff for what they did. When John resigned, we immediately went into another aspect, and that was to start checking into who we thought might be coaching candidates and potentially GM candidates, if that were going to be the case, if we can go that way.
Mark got to get a new
we put
haircut
together
too,
quite
man.
a
He
list.
does got to get a new haircut.
And when the season ended, we decided we wouldn't start our process of interviewing until the playoffs were over for us. So once we finished our final game, we put together a committee which consisted of Dan Ventrelli, Tom Delaney, myself, and a fellow by the name of Ken Herrock, who was actually the ringleader of this. And we had about 12 people that we brought in. We initially started, the first person we interviewed was Rich Bisaccia. It was a 5-hour interview. It was fantastic. Rich was great. Then we went into doing general managers. And so we went through that process with Ken actually asking the questions, us listening, and then near the end of each interview, we would interject our questions as well. We think that the process was well done. It was extensive, exhaustive, and today I'd like to introduce the new general manager of the Las Vegas Raiders from, oh man, I'm losing it. Which college? John Carroll University. And that's Dave Ziegler. And if Dave would come up, I'd appreciate it.
All right, so here goes Dave Ziegler. Dave Ziegler is the new GM. He is being announced as the new GM for the Las Vegas Raiders, ladies and gentlemen.
What I'd like to do right now is just have Dave let you know a little bit about himself, and we'll go from there.
All right, so here comes the new era. I like the silver and black that he got on.
Well, first,
the
wanna
tie
thank
and the
everyone for
suit.
being here today, and
you know.
taking time out of your day. Those in the room and those watching outside of the room. First, I want to thank Mark and the committee that was involved in the hiring process. It was a very thorough process, a detailed process, and I know they interviewed a lot of quality candidates. So it's really an honor for them to select me as the next general manager of the Las Vegas Raiders and to represent Raider Nation. Mark's passion for the Raiders, his commitment to my beliefs and what's important to me to make this organization a championship caliber organization, and his commitment to winning and his energy made this job highly desirable for me and my family. The stadium, the facilities, the weight room, the training room, the locker room. I could go on and on. It really is, it harkens back to a phrase made famous by the late Al Davis. There really is a commitment to excellence when you walk into this building and when you walk into this stadium. The phrase commitment to excellence resonates with many of my core beliefs and a lot of the foundational pieces that will be important to building a championship culture here. We'll be an organization that lives in the details. No task will be too small. Every task will be measured with the same standard of excellence. We will hire excellent people that are driven by team and that are loyal to our cause. We will strive to have high-end communication at all levels of the organization, which takes effort and takes time to build. We'll be demanding, but never demeaning. We'll invest in the growth of our employees and have them reach their goals. The fabric of our culture will be to evaluate and evolve consistently and constantly our processes and our people to make sure that we are always operating at a championship level. Being committed to the standard of excellence is going to occur from the top down, and it's what it will take to build this organization into an organization that consistently competes for championships. I would be remiss not to thank some people that helped me get here. As Mark mentioned, I attended John Carroll University, and I'll get to that. But first, I wouldn't be sitting here today if it wasn't for my wife, Carissa, and my kids, Asher, Georgina, and Camden. Carissa is the true GM of my family. If you know me and you know us, you know that she handles everything. She's extremely talented in her own right, and just a blessing to have in my life, and is really, again, is a major part of me being here today. My mom and dad, my brother and sister, who are probably trying to watch online somewhere, their love and support has always been constant and has always driven me to succeed. And also my extended family, who taught me the value of a strong work ethic and doing the right thing. My in-laws, Ron and Anita, also have been very supportive as we've bounced around from Denver and moved multiple times over the last 10 years. They've always been by our side and have always been supportive of our vision. Quickly, my family in Talmadge, Ohio, which is where I was born and raised. I have a large support system in Talmadge. That's where I learned to compete every day. It's a small town. It's a sports crazed town. And it was football, basketball, baseball. That's what you did. That's what your identity was about. And that's where I really learned to compete. Two coaches I have to recognize quickly, my head high school coach, Jeff Ferguson, and Randy Scava, who were two people that pushed me beyond limits that I thought I could push myself both physically many times, mentally and emotionally. And they were big parts of who I am today. The John Carroll community, which runs deep in the NFL and runs deep in many coaching circles from college to high school. The high standards
Let's go, critique.
and the
Let's
commitment
go.
to serving others is something that I learned there and is something that I take with me every day when I come into work. I must thank the Patriot Organization, Robert, Jonathan Kraft, for their first-class treatment of me and my family. Of course, Bill Belichick, who has been a great teacher to me in all things football. And Nick Caserio, who I've known for a very long time, who brought me to New England, who taught me many of the ins and outs of the scouting system that I believe in today. In closing, it is an honor to represent Raider Nation in this historic franchise. And there will be one focus from here going forward. And simply put, it'll be to just win, baby. Thank you.
All right, so that is your new GM, Dave Ziegler,
Thank you.
for the Las
Before
Vegas
we get
Raiders.
into
What's going on,
questions,
Mitch?
there's
It's
somebody
my
else I'd
chair,
like to
boy. It's my
introduce,
chair.
And that's the next head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders from John Carroll University, Mr. Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, I'm watching from the phone. Tommy Blunt. And there we go. Josh McDaniels as the new head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Ladies and gentlemen, it is official.
Thank you to
Thank you,
everybody
Travis, for the
being
$2
here,
super chat.
today.
Thank
And
you.
For those
Thank
of
you.
us that are not here and join us online, I appreciate you being here. I'd like to begin by thanking Mr. Davis, Dan Ventrelli, the entire Raiders organization. It's been an incredible experience for me the last 3 or 4 days here, getting to know the people in the organization. It's been a thorough process. They've been very candid. I understand the vision that they have in mind. That's been clear from the beginning, what they're looking for. Seeing the stadium, the facility, and again, every person that I've met thus far, you can tell where this organization is headed, and I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm also excited to partner with Dave Ziegler, who is not only a friend of mine, but we go back a long way. And I have a great deal of respect for him, his ability to do the job that he's been hired to do here, evaluate, lead our personnel and scouting department. He's a hard worker, tireless in his effort to do anything that he can to help the football team win. And I'm excited to join in our vision together. I would also like to thank the New England Patriots organization, Robert, Jonathan Kraft, Coach Belichick. 18 years, I was very fortunate to learn and grow in a world-class organization, a first-class environment. Learned so many things from them. Feel fortunate that me and my family were able to go through that experience. And now here I am today. My family, starting with Laura, my wife, she's my biggest supporter. She's the rock and head coach of our crew back home. My 4 kids, Jack, Maddie, Livy, and Nina, who are excited to join RaiderNation. They're obviously my biggest support system, and they've helped me chase my dreams and goals professionally, and it would be impossible without their support. My mom and dad, that's why I'm in this profession today. My father was a head football coach, high school football coach. He's a legend in Ohio. He didn't like me to say that, but I would be remiss if I didn't talk about that. And I've been going to practices since I was 4 or 5 years old. And my mother's, I tell her all the time, she's the best, mother of a player when I was growing up that I could ask for. She knew what a 3 technique was. She knew what puck protection was. And, so we got an earful from her. But their support has been incredible in my life and certainly in my career. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the assistant coaches that I've worked with, the players that I've had the privilege to coach. I know that any advancement, personal advancement in this profession is only as the result of the collective efforts of everybody else. And certainly they're the big reason why I'm sitting here today, and I thank them. The last 10 to 12 years, I've really had an opportunity to grow as a person, as a coach, as a man, and try to figure out, after my experiences in Denver and St. Louis, who I am, how I wanted to be defined in my career, what I wanted to represent, and how I would lead the next time if I got another opportunity to be a head coach. And I've it's crystallized for me. I'm clear in the vision that I have for this role, for this job, for this team, and I'm going to be myself. And I think that's really important for me and our organization as we go forward. I'm the son of a football coach, and I don't apologize for that. I knew I wanted to do this since I was 4 or 5 years old, and I love everything about this game. I love the practices. I love the weight room. I love the film study. I love the winning and losing, even though nobody wants to lose. That's how you get better in this game. And all the challenges that are presented in terms of trying to reach your ultimate goal in this profession. All of those things are part of the process. And if you didn't love part of that process, it would be a problem. And I love to work hard. I'm going to be committed to the cause, which has been made very clear to me. I know it's clear to Dave. I value character, hard work, loyalty. Those are really important things to me. And I also think that it's really important, as I've grown and understand now how important it is to evolve, to innovate, to do new things, to try to figure out new ways for us to continue to try to be the best. A wise man once told me that when you're young, you try to accumulate and advance. And when you get older, you figure out that it's a lot more about serving and impacting others. And I think I've gone through both phases. And I learned a lot through my experiences. And now I'm excited to have that opportunity to consistently impact other people. And I'm competitive. And everything that I do and I'm involved in, I want to compete to try to be the best we can be. I think our team will show that day in and day out. I think that's the best way for us to reach our potential is to compete in every aspect of our organization. The mission here, Mr. Davis has made it very clear to me. We're committed to doing whatever it takes to win on and off the field. It's very important for us to be a pillar in the community, to do the right thing, to represent this organization, RaiderNation, the city of Las Vegas with class and integrity, and we'll do that. We're going to build a culture that is sustained by high character people that work hard to meet that championship standard in every area. We want a tough, smart football team that's explosive. That's important.
Let's talk about that. Explosive. Let's talk about that.
In today's NFL, I think that's really important. You can't beat every team the same way, and we're going to need to be adaptable. The organization itself has, like I said, made such an impression on me in such a short time, and we're going to represent that organization the right way. There'll be one rope, and from Mr. Davis on down, we're going to pull it in the same direction. And we have one goal, and if we're all pulling in the same direction,
facts,
we can
Bernard,
accomplish
facts.
A lot of great things. There will be a million moments that contribute to the success of this organization, and this will be the first one. To our players and fans, we're committed in our pursuit of excellence. Whatever we have to do to achieve our goals, we're going to put our head down. We're going to work hard. We're going to put great people in this building in every area. We're going to do what it takes for us to achieve, that vision. And in closing, I feel blessed to the people that have impacted me along the way, starting with my mom and dad. My family have played such an important role in me being here today. I've been patient. I've been selective, maybe to a fault sometimes. People wanted me to do things a little earlier than maybe I did them. But it was going to take a special place for me to really leave where I was. And I found that here in Las Vegas. And, I thank Mr. Davis again for having the faith in me to lead this team as the head coach. And I know that the greatness of the Raiders is in its future, and I can't wait to get started. So
y'all are a bit too picky in the chat about how I'm saying and y'all too picky in the chat, bro. Too picky.
One thing. When I met Josh on Saturday, we met in the hallway as we were passing. It was before the interview process was going to start. And I said, hey, I introduced myself and everything. And he looked me in the eye and he said, there's one thing. It was a fumble. So RaiderNation, if you're worried, he's already come over to the dark side.
It was a fumble.
All right, guys, with that,
true story.
We'll open it up for questions. We have microphones on either aisle. Please state your name and affiliation. Go ahead, Vinny.
Vinny Monsignor with Las Vegas Review-Journal. This is for Josh and
what's
Dave.
up, Vinny B?
You mentioned that you were patient, and there have been reports that over the years there have been overtures made, for you, and be head coaches elsewhere. What was it about this organization that made you say, okay, this is the one that I want to leave New England for?
Yeah. I mean, when you go through this process, like I said, I was very impressed with how exhaustive they were, just in their evaluation of me and my fit and how I would fit into their vision. And then you come out and you spend time with them, you meet the people, you see that everything's done in a first-class manner. Their commitment to winning is easy to feel, to see. And to me, walking through this building and having a sense of the history and tradition of this organization and how much that impacts, the day-to-day here, it really hit me. This is one of those iconic places, and it's a historic organization that has unbelievable history and tradition, and it's in every hallway. And so I just, getting to know them, feeling their commitment, and understanding that really married up with what my vision would be for another opportunity.
No Tom Brady, no Rodgers.
It was easy to make the choice.
I don't see that happening.
Hey everyone, it's Tashawn Reed from The Athletic.
Thank you for the $4.99 super chat.
When it comes to personnel and roster construction, what's sort of the vision for how the decision-making process will happen between whether it's McDaniels or Ziegler?
Just to clarify, in terms of how we're going to make decisions.
Yes, in terms of just like transactional, drafting, roster construction, how's that decision-making process?
Sure. Well, I mean, at the end of the
Good
day,
question,
as the
Tashawn
general
Reed.
manager and as the one leading the charge on the scouting side and personnel and college and pro, that direction will come from me. In terms of the construction of the roster, obviously we're Josh and I are tied in many ways in our vision of how to build a team and our vision of what we want. In terms of the players that we bring into the building is very connected. But at the end of the day, when it's time to make decisions on personnel, while we'll work together, those final decisions will be made by me.
I like that. The general manager has a voice.
I'll give Vinny's question to
the
you.
The general manager has a voice.
Process. Can you talk about when you came down to the decision of the two gentlemen you're sitting by? What stood out to you that made this decision for you?
Well, I've been watching Josh for many years for certain reasons other than maybe good ones at times. The success of the Patriots and watching them over the years, I've seen them do it with Tom Brady, of course, the greatest of all time. But I also saw the development of Tom Brady, the greatest of all time. And then I saw it with Matt Castle. I saw him be able to win with him and make Matt Castle the hottest free agent commodity in the market. Then I saw him do it this year with a rookie quarterback. I've just always seen the
Didn't I just say this earlier in the show, y'all?
Not only adapts from week to week or half to half, but maybe even series to series. I just believe in Josh's ability to assess the situation and make the changes in real time.
I just said this in the beginning of the show.
That's impressed me. On the side of Dave, with their personnel and everything, it's a lot of no names that they do it with. And every now and then, they'll bring in a big name free agent, but he fits a spot. And that kind of reminded me of the old Raiders in that way, that we used to be able to do that. And I tease him because they took a player from us, a guy by the name of Randy Moss. And I told him, you got Randy Moss and you couldn't even win with him. And the funny part about that is they won 18 games, but they lost one. But I really just, again, in watching it and being around this sport for a long time and watching the excellence that was brought to the field by the Patriot organization and knowing that Josh was a huge part of that and talking to people that are also part of the Patriot organization that I know in my network of people.
We're going to talk about that as well, William Blair. Thanks for the $1.99 super chat. We will talk about that as well.
Rondo Carpenter with Sports Illustrated. Most coaches, when they take over a team, it's in disaster mode. You get a double-digit fifth seed in the AFC West, but you also get a top 5 quarterback. How appealing was it for you to come to an organization with a quarterback like Derek Carr?
Yeah, I mean, Derek's won a lot of games in this league, and we've competed against each other a number of times, and I have a lot of respect for him. He certainly did a good job this year leading their offense. And, I spoke with him yesterday. We had a great conversation. Looking forward to actually getting to meet him and get to know him as a person, as a human being, and then getting to work, in terms of developing our offense this year into what it's going to be. But there's no question that we have the capacity and capability of winning with Derek here. We all know that. And I look forward to the challenge of trying to grow not only Derek, but everybody on the roster to try to reach our potential. I never feel like a player, is a finished product. And our job as coaches is to continue to identify places where we might be able to get better and work hard to try to improve. And I know he's completely on board with that. Again, we had a great conversation, and I look forward to our relationship.
Joe.
This is Chris Matthews from KLAS TV here in Vegas. Can I just ask both of you, Dave and Josh, what are maybe a couple of the key principles? You mentioned you're tied in many ways. Maybe a couple of the key principles that you bring from New England to Las Vegas with yourselves?
Well, I would say some of the things that I hit on earlier when during my introduction are really some of the key principles in terms of, and I would say more like foundationally within the organization in terms of, the attention to detail, in terms of a high standard in everything that we do. And also, I'd say communication and collaboration and roster building together. And I think those are some key elements that are really important to our process. When it comes to players specifically, we always talk about it, and it really is important, and it's simple, but smart, tough, dependable, and players that love football. And, obviously there's a lot of different elements that you can also keep on top of that. But at the very core, those are the things that we're going to look at. Those are the things that are important to us. And those are some really foundational pieces for us when we look at this, this organization and building it, how we want it to look.
It's, Dave said it perfectly. And it's hard to have a tough, smart football team that's explosive, that plays well under pressure, unless you're committed in every avenue of those are the type of people we're going to bring in and put on the team. And so it requires discipline to do that, and that's our vision for how we feel best about trying to win, and you're going to have to, there's a lot of commitment across the board in our organization to being able to field a team that represents those qualities and those
I
characteristics.
can't wait for the coordinators to be
And
announced.
I
I can't wait.
Before we move on, that when you're building a team, it's not just about acquiring talent. It's about acquiring talent and putting talent in the right spots, but it's also about building a roster from top to bottom that is competitive, that competes every day, that has depth. And those are also key elements that I think we've learned through our time in the league that really allows you to sustain and win during a long NFL season, and having the right people in the right spots in the right roles. And we're very role specific in how we look at things, are a couple other key elements to what we believe in and how we're going to build it.
Levi Edwards, Raiders.com. This is kind of a two-parter. First, Coach McDaniels, you've talked about how much you've evolved over time. If you could put a point on an aspect of your life, just on or off the field as a coach from your time in Denver, where would you say is probably the biggest thing that you've involved as just personally, and also for you, Dave, how can
Joe Mannix, if you're not optimistic, bro, you can leave the chat, bro. You can leave the chat if you're not optimistic about this coaching regime and the GM. Stop it.
When I went to Denver, I knew a little bit of football. I didn't really know people and how important that aspect of this process and maintaining the culture and building the team was. And I failed, and I didn't succeed at it. And so looking at that experience has been one of the best things in my life in terms of my overall growth as a person, as a coach. What do I need to do different? How do I need to handle my role if I have another opportunity and do better at it? And I feel like that's really an area that I've tried to grow in with our staff in New England. Our offensive staff working together, collaborating supporting one another, impacting them, serving them, helping them grow as coaches, as players, with our guys.
What's
that
good,
we're
real
coaching.
time Raider?
So,
What's going on, brother?
That's the biggest. I would say that's the biggest area for me, and I know how important it is as a head coach to be able to do that.
This is Vic Tafer from The Athletic. Question for both Josh and Dave. In what ways did Bill Belichick shape you guys? What was the biggest impact he had as far as your guys' development to get to this point today?
I'll go.
I'll let you take that first.
Oh boy, there's a long list. Look, he's
Make sure y'all go
I'm-
subscribe to my boy
as I
Real Time
mentioned, I'm
Raiders, man.
blessed and
Go
fortunate
subscribe
have
to him
had the
right now.
experiences that I have. I started in personnel.
Go subscribe to my boy
back in
right now, man.
2001, when Laura made quite a bit more money than I was making, and just he made you develop in every area as a professional in this environment, and gave us the opportunity to see the scouting side, gave us the opportunity to work on. I had the opportunity to work on defense, then flipped me over to the offensive side and had me, coach the quarterback, and kind of, I saw the game, in a lot of different perspectives. And I was able to, what I felt like was, that's a really well-rounded approach as you're growing up in this game, to have some understanding of what
Thank
is
you,
the grading
Bernard.
system,
Appreciate
what does
that,
it
brother.
mean, how do they attack us on offense when you're on defense, and then flipping it over to the offensive side and understanding that, and then, tying it all together with situational football and game management, which is obviously a critical component to winning every game in the NFL. I mean, you lose a lot more games than you win in this league. And if you can do some of those things really well, obviously that's going to impact your opportunity to win. So there's so many that I couldn't name them all, but I mean, he gave me an opportunity to be well-rounded coming out of the organization. And I'm very grateful for that.
Make sure you have to go
I'd
check
say
out
for
that
me,
link
and I
right
could,
now. Go check out that link.
Have a laundry list of things, but I would say, the one thing that sticks out to me is that Bill taught me is Bill is a forward thinker. And it's not just about a decision in the moment. It's about how a decision can,
Make sure y'all go subscribe to my boy Raider Critique as well.
One decision can impact what
Go
we're gonna
subscribe to my
do,
boy Raider Critique.
in 2022, in 2023, and just to really have an understanding of how decisions can impact different parts of the organization and can impact your team. And I think the other thing that Bill it doesn't get talked about much, but and it goes along with the forward thinking piece, is Bill is really dedicated to evaluating every single thing that we do at every point of the year and looking at it critically, and then evolving and trying to figure out how are we going to get these things better, even if the end result was a Super Bowl, or even if the end result was a great trade or a great player acquisition, or whatever it may be. Every decision that we do here in all of our processes, as I mentioned, just to evaluate those things critically, what went well, what didn't go well, and how we can improve it. And I think that's critical to not staying stagnant, and to always kind of making sure you're moving forward with the the best ideas and the best processes.
Sam Gordon, Las Vegas Review-Journal, right here. Gentlemen, welcome to Vegas. Dave, question for you. Like Hondo mentioned, this was a team that went 10-7 last year and made the playoffs. When you assess the roster, how close do you feel like it is to contending with some of the teams we saw this past weekend? And are there any particular points of emphasis as you get ready for your first draft and free agency with the Raiders?
Yeah, I think, obviously the team did a good job, right? They got into the playoffs, and there's a lot of talented players on this team. And I think, Josh and I have talked about it. There's still a lot of, I've evaluated the team to a degree, to the detail that I would normally do. I'm not there yet. So I think to be fair to the team and to the guys onto the team, I think, there's still a self-scout and an evaluation period that I have to go through with our staff here, with Josh, to really understand how all the pieces and the parts fit together. And I think, once we go through that process and once we have that understanding, we'll have a much better idea of what our plan of attack is going to be going forward. not that I'm going to announce that to the world.
What's good,
but
Dante? What's good?
But we'll have that plan, and we'll have that a concrete idea of what that is. And I
SC
think,
experience
that's
was
still gonna
good.
take
Was
some time.
good.
I had another question for Dave. Obviously, you have a scouting background, but you've worked a variety of jobs, between your time with the Broncos and the Patriots. What do you think you learned from wearing all those different hats, and how do you think that can help you now that you're stepping into this GM role?
Yeah, well, it's been a great experience in just terms of being well-rounded, and I would say even beyond football. Me and Mark talked about it. I was a high school teacher at one time, and I was a high school guidance counselor at one time, and I'd say all those experiences in terms of how to deal with different people, how to relate to different people, how to communicate at a high level, how to show empathy, how to problem solve. Like, I learned a lot of those lessons outside of football, and that have been really valuable to me. And then inside of football, starting with my time in Denver, as a pro scout, as a college scout, as a scouting assistant, picking people up from the airport.
Make sure y'all go subscribe to my boy SC Experience.
In my time
Another
in
Raiders
New
content
England,
creator. Make sure y'all go
again, on the
subscribe
college
to
side and the
SC
pro
Experience.
side,
Y'all
and,
see the name right there.
This year, I would say this past year,
Make sure y'all
really
go
being
subscribe to my
much
guys.
more hands-on on a lot of aspects of the organization, being involved more on some of the contractual things that are involved in the organization, the
The
salary cap and
GM,
those
Dave
types of things.
Ziegler.
So
Dave
I
Ziegler
just think,
is
like, the
speaking.
more exposure you have, right, in any line of work, the more knowledge you have, and the more knowledge that you have, the better that you can perform your job. And so, all of those experiences have allowed me I would say, to feel confident in my ability to run the scouting department, and I'll still have things to learn, and I'll learn things from the people that are here in this organization, and ideas that they have and processes that they have that maybe are better than some of the ideas that I have myself.
There you go. Thank you, Bernard.
And so,
Thank you, bro.
That's how I would answer those questions. It's been, I think it's been a unique ride for me to get to this point. But I think it all kind of came together to allow me to have some of the success that I've had.
Dave, along the lines of evaluation and assessing the roster.
Go subscribe to my boy, Coach
Derek Carr has
Dante.
said that he would like to retire.
Go
as a
subscribe to
Raider.
my
He wants to
boy,
be here a
Coach
long
Dante.
time.
The
He's got
links
one
are
more
in
year
there.
left on his
Raider
contract.
Critique,
Is that a
Real
box
Time
that
Raiders,
he
SC
still needs to
Experience,
get
Coach
checked off
Dante.
ASAP,
Go
or
subscribe to them guys, man.
next year, or, what are your thought processes on that?
Yeah, I think, like, and I know Josh talked to Derek. I had a great conversation with Derek myself yesterday, and I think the one thing that we all understand is there's going to be a process of us learning Derek learning us, and fitting all those pieces together. And I think that's going to be step one, is building the relationship, understanding what Derek does well, Derek understanding what Josh and the offensive staff is trying to build. And I think as that collaboration goes, then you kind of see how everything fits together. And I think until you see how everything, you have to see how everything fits together, and kind of work from that point. And we're just really excited to have Derek here, and to get to know him, and get to know his strengths, and get to work with him in our system.
Hey there, Cassie Soto with the Las Vegas Review-Journal. This one is for Mark. How important was it for you to find a duo who had previously worked together, had experience of how each other operate at the beginning of this search?
That's a good question. When I first came in, the first hire I did was Reggie McKenzie as the general manager of the Raiders. And it was important to me because we really hadn't had a general manager since my father had been running the team. And I gave Reggie the ability to bring in his own head coach, which was the ability to have some type of working relationship. And that didn't work out so well at that time. I think it was because they were two young guys that were working together, but they really didn't have the experience to run a football team. Then we come to the next iteration was John and Mike Mayock. And they built the roster that's here today, but it was a rocky road. And,
yes, it was.
I felt in this
hell of a rocky road
time, we were going to do it a little bit differently and try to find a teammate. And therefore, in every interview that we did with a head coach, we asked him who he would think of as a general manager or general managers. And on the other side of the coin, we asked that to every general manager as well. Who would you think of as a head coach? And it was such an expanding learning process. hearing about all those things, but we felt that it was really important for them to have synergy. And I couldn't have found a better pair of people working together from John Carroll University than these two gentlemen.
I'm happy
Just
that
a
Mark
few more
Davis
guys.
went
We'll go
that
Adam
route.
Hondo
I'm
and
really
then
happy about that.
Yeah, Adam Hill, Las Vegas Review Journal. Along those same lines for both Dave and Josh, how important was it for you guys to find a place where you could work together, kind of put your stamp on a franchise and kind of put that vision into place of how you guys have kind of seen this over the years?
I think it's an important aspect of the team building process. It's not it's not something that has to be, a long-term relationship. We've seen that work in the NFL where it hasn't been, but to me, it was important for me to have that, as somebody, have that person be somebody that I was familiar with, that understands, me as a person, as a coach, and just fortunate that this opportunity is presented to us. I mean, we don't have to teach one another the language, the scouting system, the things we're looking for in a player, the qualities and traits that we covet. Those are we already understand those. And so I think, albeit not necessarily a prerequisite, I think it's a huge plus for us and for our organization that we have that opportunity to kind of hit the ground running.
Yeah, I think that I would say the unique thing is it important? Like Josh said, I don't think it's a prerequisite, but there are some advantages to it. And I think Josh and I's relationship goes back a long time, and our relationship has always been built on honesty and respect, and the ability to be each other's biggest teammate, and the ability to be each other's critic too. And to always come back to a place of respect and always come back to a place where we're on the same page. And I think that's, been the real beauty of our relationship as we've, developed and as we've kind of advanced in our respective positions in the league.
Josh, for you, please, is it your anticipation that you'll run a 4-3, a 3-4 on defense? What is it that you're comfortable with as the head coach?
Most of it, it's funny, most of it today is actually built out of the nickel anyway. We talk a lot about 4-3, 3-4, 85% of the game is now sub defense. And so your decision-making process might be a little different than it was 15 years ago when you were playing a lot more base defense. This team was built in the 4-3 mold. We'll make those considerations and determine how we want to go forward here.
Yes, let's get me to 7K, y'all.
And
get them likes up, get them subscribers up, man. 7K is on the way, man.
In that mode, but like I said, most of these games you're playing a 4-man line and nickel defense anyway, and so that's almost become your base. And so the vision for us is going to need to be, what are our 5? There's 5 starting defensive backs now, and there's 2 linebackers and so on and so forth. So, we'll do the due diligence as we hire our staff and then evaluate our team and decide what's best as we move forward.
Okay.
Mark, Paul Gutierrez here from ESPN. You, in the decade plus since you've been running things, you've overseen a deconstruction, then the reconstruction. How would you describe what this is right now? Just totally going outside of the box. And like you mentioned earlier, finding the synergy, but going outside of the box as well.
Well, I think that John and Mike had built a foundation to build upon. And I think that's what we're doing now. And I think moving forward, that's what these two are going to be building upon, that foundation. We've got some great players in this organization right now. I believe there's a great culture in this organization right now, which is what they will find. They haven't seen that as much yet because they haven't seen all the players together. But that's something that Rich had built over the last 6 months, is a fantastic culture in this building. And I think that now we're just moving to the next level. And that it's not a rebuild, it's not a reload. It's just taking this to the next level and getting to that Super Bowl and
we hear it. We heard it.
Championships.
We heard it.
All right. Thank you, everyone. That concludes our press conference. If the network TV affiliates want to come down for quick one-on-ones, please come to the front of the stage and we'll get you guys taken care of. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right. That is the official presser. It is an official. Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler is your new GM and head coach. I love this press conference. I loved it. No one of them was egotistic. And I love what Mark Davis said at the end. This is not a rebuild. This is not a retool. We're going to the next level. I love that ending by Mark Davis. And y'all know that I was not a big fan of Mark Davis. I was not a big fan of Mark Davis. Anybody in the chat can tell you that I was not a big fan. Can you drop the coach's channel one more time? Yeah, can someone drop Coach Dante's channel one more time for me? But that is the ending of it, ladies and gentlemen. I love it. I love it. I love the press conference all the way around. Josh McDaniels took accountability for his failures in Denver. If I am the Las Vegas Raiders fans right now, if you're not a Las Vegas Raiders fan right now, this is the first time we ever seen a coach take accountability for his actions. You cannot be mad at that. He said that he was young. He didn't know he didn't know enough about football. He didn't know enough about people. And it explains it. It shuts all these players up. It shuts all these fans up and say, "Oh, he didn't do good in Denver," and he tells you why he didn't do good in Denver. Listen. Listen, B-Town Breakdown, salute to you, brother. Y'all had him for a lot of years. He was successful there, but I love this press conference. Mark Davis sounds confident. He said that when Mark Davis said that he went out and got Reggie McKenzie, and Reggie McKenzie went out and got the coaches. He wanted to bring a tandem together that worked together. And that's what John Gruden and Mike Mayock never did. They never worked together. And to love to see, the number one thing that I love to see, Dave Ziegler is going to be an actual GM. He's going to be an actual GM. You get what I'm saying? I love this. I love it. People, if you have watched, if you're done watching this presser, you should be more confident in Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler. Y'all should be more confident. And then Mark Davis, I gotta give Mark Davis a call. I gotta give Mark. You're not a fan of his hiring, but I would give it a year before past judgment. Shane Inslee, I don't know what you saw. I don't know what you saw in the press conference today, bro. But it's not a rebuild. It's not a retool. We're going to the next level. And that's what Mark Davis said. You don't have to be happy about the firing, but this guy, Josh McDaniels, just came on the press conference and said that he took full responsibility of what happened in Denver. Come on now. What Raiders coach has came out and took full responsibility of their actions in the last 5 years? John Gruden hasn't. I'm very optimistic about this. Josh McDaniels looks more humble. He looks more mature. And like he said before, he said that he didn't know how to be with the people. He didn't know how to treat, not treat people, but he didn't know how to work. I don't know how to work with people, but it was something of that nature when he said that he was a bit inexperienced. He didn't know too much about football, and he didn't know people. And that's what I think. That's what I think. Maturity is what we need. Accountability is what we need with the Raiders. You get what I'm saying? It was a beautiful presser. Now we have two people in Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler that actually work with each other in New England. So we got a tandem. We already know what Josh McDaniels could do. Josh McDaniels knows what Dave Ziegler can do, and Dave Ziegler can know what Josh McDaniels can do. So that's a good thing there for us Raiders fans. That's good. You can't be mad at it. You could be mad at that presser, yo. You really couldn't. It has me excited for next season. It has me excited for free agency. It has me excited for the draft. And you know what? After this press conference, a lot of free agents, I hope you watch this press conference because I feel like these two people can attract people to come play for us. I think the reason why we couldn't go out in free agency and get the players that we got because we had egotistic coaches. Not Rich Bisaccia and Say, but John Gruden. I think nobody wanted to play for John Gruden. But I think, and I feel that players are going to want to play for Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels. I don't care what nobody say. I think he could bring free agency in here. I really think so. If you see what the free agency he did with the Patriots last year, and they wanted to play for him. They wanted to play for Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick. I think this is going to happen in the Raiders, y'all. Y'all have to be excited because I am. Mark Davis, I commend you because you know I'm the one to throw the fire under your ass ASAP. You know that. You know that, bruh. You know I'm good for that. You know that I come over and put a fire under your ass every time, Mark Davis. But you had a wonderful press conference as well. If people could disagree with this press conference, then that's on you, bro. That means you don't want the Raiders to win right now if you don't agree with this. We have to deal with the fact that we have Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler, and that's it. That's it. We have to deal with it, and I feel like it makes me feel better hearing it from them instead of speculating. You get what I'm saying? It's better hearing from them than just speculation after speculation after speculation. You get what I'm saying? You said, man, we ain't got no players. Caden, baseball footage. I don't know who the hell you are, but you can get the hell out of here. Thanks for the view. Appreciate it. I like your enthusiasm and your drive for our team. Listen, I love this team, man. Win, lose, or draw, I could talk so much shit about this team negatively, but I could talk it positively too. I really can. And people fail to realize that with me. And that's why I wanted to go back to the old school spotlight where I could still get my point across, but not make it as ignorant like I used to be. I used to be ignorant doing this past season. I want to go back to just chilling, not being a troll and all that. Just talking Raiders football as a podcaster and myself. And that's what I did today. You see that I'm not sweating. I'm not hype. I'm not none of that. We only got 171 likes with 243 people in here. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Get them thumbs up. Get them thumbs up. You all got to understand that Jim didn't want to come here. Y'all need to get over that, man. Yeah, people need to get over the Jim Harbaugh, man. What's one player you really want them to go get in free agency, brother? Right now, address the wide receiver position. I would go get Devontae Adams, but it really depends on what Devontae Adams want. From what I've heard with Devontae Adams, he wants $30 million guaranteed. As I listen to Eric, as I listen to it and hear the contract situation, if that happens, I don't want to get Devontae Adams. If it's not less than $30 million, I don't want him. Sorry to say, I will. Or what you could do is this: you could restructure some contracts. That means you got to restructure Derek Carr's contract, or take a pay cut. Derek Carr has to take a pay cut and then get rid of most of these 1-year contracts and go from there. That's the only way. No state tax. I can completely understand a no state tax. But I mean, Christian Kirk, another talent. Allen Robinson, another talent. Go fix this offensive line. Go get if we don't get Devontae Adams, fix this offensive line. Go get a Brandon Sheriff. Go get another veteran that's in his prime right now, and that's Brandon Sheriff. You know what I'm saying? We got a few offensive linemen that we could go get and mix in with some young ones, man. Yeah, I'm out. 9-8 season. David Carr ain't no Burrow. All right, get out then. Goodbye. Goodbye, clown. Goodbye. That's why you're blocked, clown. DJ Shark, for real. I mean, DJ Shark is cool, but I don't think he's a number one priority. He could be a number two he could be a number two here or number three here, but I don't see him being a number one guy. Shout out to Mike Tarullo with the $4.99 super chat. He said, I love how Josh said he's going to evaluate talent before implementing the 4-3 or the 3-4. Depending on the talent, is all the best coaches is adjust their roster. That was smart. That was a smart one. I love that. I love when he said that. And I love the word, and me and Bernard love this word so much. Adapt. Adapt. Make adjustments. Now you got to fire Greg Olson. You got to get him the hell out of here. Now that's going to be our next thing. Our next thing is going to be coordinators. Who's going to be our defensive coordinator? Who's going to be our offensive coordinator? Who's going to be our special teams? I can't wait for the announcement of the assistant coaches. I just cannot wait for the announcement, because I will make a video. I will go live talking about it and breaking down each coach on why Josh McDaniels brought them here. But it might be a Patriot staff. It might be a Patriot staff. So, hey, you can't even be mad at it. You can't. You can't be mad at it at all, man. I love it. Fix the O-line and get speed at wide receiver in the draft. Yeah, still go get a wide receiver in the draft, but I wouldn't. If we go get a Allen Robinson, right? If we go get an Allen Robinson or a Christian Kirk, I wouldn't go receiver in the first round. That's just me. That's just me. I don't think we should go get a wide receiver in the first round if we go get Allen Robinson in free agency. Y'all got to think about that. If we go get a Devontae Adams, a Christian Kirk, a DJ Shark, well, not really DJ Shark, but if we go get Christian Kirk, Devontae Adams, or Allen Robinson, don't go wide receiver in the first round. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to wink for the D coordinator. Yes, I'm going with Martindale. I would love to go Martindale for Bill Belichick for a coordinator. Yo, knock Andrew. I can't with you, bro. I can't with you, Brody. I really can't. I really can't. I like how Mark said that he likes how Daniels adjusts from series to series. Yes. Get London from USC. London would be off the board by the time we probably get him. He'd probably be off the board. What's up, Spotlight Raiders? What's going on? What's going on? I want a speed guy, wide receiver, third and fourth. This is my thing. QF576. As a former offensive coordinator myself and a former head coach of myself, it's more to just speed to being a wide receiver. It's more than just speed. Speed can win you. Speed can do whatever you want for you. But if you don't know how to run routes, if you don't know how to outrun corners, if you don't know how to clean route run, footwork, hands, it's not all about just running an 8 route all the time. Can you run on those comebacks? Can you run on them curls? Can you run on the skinny post? Can you run on the dig? Can you run on the drag? Can you run on the up and out? I mean, down a double move. So you got to really think about it. You need a well-rounded receiver. Just because you want to go get speed, it doesn't mean they are a great receiver. Some of the great receivers in the league, or some of the great receivers all time, don't have to be fast. Just because people want to get the Tyreek Hills of the world, you still got a Justin Jefferson that still outnumbered him in stats. You got to think about it. I want a complete receiver. He can have the speed, but if you have all the other intangibles on top of your speed, that's what I want. That's exactly what I want. Do you think we'll go after McCourty or Hightower? Thanks for the $4.99 super chat. I really do appreciate that, bro. Let me do this for you. Since everybody did a super chat, I got to do this for y'all.
Touchdown, Raiders!
And shout out for Jose for the $4.99 super chat. And he does say that, do we think we go after McCourty and Hightower? If they are free agents, then why not? Build this defense. Build this defense. It sounded good. So Chronicles of the Black Hole said it sounded good, but what do you think they're going to do with this team? They're going to evaluate this team. They're going to evaluate it from top to bottom, and they're going to make adjustments, who fits and who doesn't fit. Simple as that. Simple as that. They don't want they want to have a team, a mindset, a mentality, not a I in team. Just because you live in Las Vegas, you think you can do whatever you want. I think discipline is going to be the biggest thing here with Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler. They are not playing no games. They are definitely bringing that Patriot way over here. If you screw up, you're off this team. Simple as that. Bro, the locker room background is sick. Thank you, Income Stock Investing. I really do appreciate that, bro. I really do appreciate it. J.C. Jackson, Jamie Collins, Stephon Gilmore, some free agents that you know the scheme. Facts. Facts, SC experience. Facts. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I love what he did here. I love the press conference. The press conference was the best part of this live stream, man. If you want a Patriot free agency, why not Gilmore? The only reason why Gilmore, because he got hurt last year, and he was hurt for a long time. They might stay at a 4-3. Sources, trust me, bro. Spotlight time for jackpot, baby. We have a new voice of not Greg Papa. Hey, that's the only one I found. J.C. Jackson is a good cornerback. Yeah, J.C. Jackson is a good corner. Definitely is. Gilmore is going to be expensive. Yes, Bernard. Gilmore is definitely going to be expensive. Ziggy did say he wants a high character guys, and I hope he's better than finding them than Mayock. I think he is. You got to think about it though. Dave Ziegler went out and got some good rookies this year for the New England Patriots this past season. He went out in free agency and bought some players for Mac Jones. Mind you, the year before last, they was not in the playoffs with Cam Newton. 7 away from 7. You're lying right now. You cannot tell me I'm 7 away from 7K. You cannot tell me that, Key. You cannot tell me that, bro. Don't tell. I am not 7 away. Am I? I'm not 7 away from 7K. I am not 7 subs away. I'm looking at it right now. It's 6,932. I am not 6 subs away. I am not 7 subs away. Oh, yes, I am. Am I? Yeah, I am. Our offensive line is a tad important. Yes, it is a tad important. Gerard Mayo definitely going to be. Yes, that's what? Let me look at the app. Because the website is telling me something different. It is telling me something different. Yeah, it says I'm at 935. I'm at 6,935. Wow, you mean 7? Hold up. I'm at 6,935. Man, none of us can math. New Raiders head coach Josh McDaniels is expected to pursue former Raiders DC Wink Martindale as well as Patriots linebacker coach Gerard Mayo for the DC position. Hey, I'm not mad. I'm 65 away. I'm like 7 subs away. Yeah, I'm 65 away, man. So make sure y'all come on in, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel, y'all. I got a couple more minutes on here, then I'm going to head out because, I got another live stream to do at 7 o'clock. I don't want to overdo myself. Valerie Lynn does say, Spotlight, in your opinion, do you think Josh McDaniels wants to keep Derek Carr? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think he wants to keep Derek Carr. Derek Carr wants to finish his career as a Raider, and I think Josh McDaniels is going to let that happen. So y'all can nip all that Aaron Rodgers talk in the bud. Y'all can nip all that Russell Wilson talk in the bud. Y'all can talk about that Deshaun Watson stuff in the bud because Josh McDaniels don't need those type of quarterbacks. He doesn't need them. You heard what Mark Davis said right before I said it first. You tell me a top quarterback that Josh McDaniels had. He had Tom Brady from the rip when Tom Brady was this little skinny ass guy out of Michigan. So he built Tom Brady. He got a Matt Castle. Matt Castle was not a great quarterback in this league. Went 11-5 with that man and made him the hottest quarterback in free agency that year. Come on, man. Come on. And then he had Mac Jones this year. After not making the playoffs last year, they make the playoffs this year with Mac Jones. What else can you say about Josh McDaniels, man? What else can you really say? Man? I'm feeling really positive about this, man. Especially at the end when he said this is not a rebuild. This is not a retool. This is the next level. That means we're only going up from here. That's what that means. We're only going up. So that's it. That means that he's looking at being better than 10-7. He's trying to be better than 10-7. So me personally, after this conference, this is a great hire. I had some speculations. I was nervous about it. But hey, things happen and we got to move on. You know, we wish Rich Bisaccia the best. He did get an interview for the Jacksonville Jaguars as the head coach. I wish him the best. Gus Bradley, you're the fuck gone. I'm sorry. I had to throw it out there like that. But Gus Bradley, we wish you the best. Hopefully you get the DC job in Indianapolis. We wish you the best there. Greg Olsen, you're the fuck out of here too. I don't got nothing good to say about Greg Olsen. I have nothing to say good about Greg Olsen. Nothing. He can go. He can go. Goodbye. Goodbye. That's what I got to do, man. That's what I got to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here, y'all. Thank you for being here. This was a awesome show. I will be back on here on Wednesday, same time, same place. Monday and Wednesdays, you'll see me on here. Then you'll see videos the rest of the week. If I got time to pull in a live stream, then I would definitely do it. I'll probably do an early one on Saturday. I'm not too sure, but make sure you check it out, man. But I will be back here on Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. I will be back here on Wednesday. It's been fun, man. It's been real. Make sure when you go out, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you become a member of the Spotlight Raiders Talk. I am definitely changing the memberships. If you have not become a member of Spotlight Raiders Talk and you're watching from the computer, hit that join button and become a Spotlight Raiders Talk member, man, so you can get this. I will be live on Spotlight Sports Streams. If you have not subscribed to Spotlight Sports Streams, I suggest you do. If you love podcasting outside of Raiders Talk and you love baseball, you love basketball, you love soccer, you love it all, go subscribe to the Spotlight Sports Network. That is my other two channels, Spotlight Sports Network and Spotlight Sports Streams. If Key is in the building, if Dante's in the building, make sure you put them links in the description. Make sure you put them links in the chat for Spotlight Sports Streams and Spotlight Sports Network. Spotlight Sports Network is an all podcasting network. And you think you have what it takes to talk sports with us and debate with us on a weekly basis, make sure you hit me up on Instagram. Y'all see it at the bottom, Spotlight Raiders Talk. Y'all can definitely hit me up if y'all want to be a part of the Spotlight Sports Network. And if you love doing live play-by-plays, if you want to do play-by-plays and you want to be a part of the network, make sure you hit me up at Spotlight Raiders Talk, and you can be a part of Spotlight Sports Streams and Spotlight Sports Network. But right now, it's the Spotlight Raiders Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully I can get to 7K by the end of the night. If not, we'll definitely try to get it on Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. But let's go, baby. Thank y'all so much for being here, man. I appreciate all of y'all. This was a very positive, great vibe, everything about it. I love these type of shows, man. Thank y'all so much for everything. If it wasn't for y'all, it will not be me. If it wasn't for y'all in the chat, it wouldn't be me. And that is a fact. That is an absolute fact. I would not be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for y'all. I wouldn't be at almost 7,000 subscribers if it wasn't for y'all. But come on in, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, Spotlight Raiders Talk, Spotlight Sports Network, and Spotlight Sports Streams. And I'm going to leave y'all off with a little intro from the Spotlight Sports Network and Spotlight Raiders Talk. I love y'all. Have a good night. Peace.
I heard they want the news. Well, we got it just for you. What's your team? Who your player? Who your crew? I heard they want the news. The spotlight is on you. And if you in the hot seat, it's times two. I heard they want the news. Come crew. But we got the hook up just like black and blue. I heard they want to know. Spotlight Sports, what it do? Hit subscribe and that like button too. I heard they want the news.
From OAKLA to LV, I'm a Raider. Ain't shit you can tell me, I'm a Raider. Ain't shit you can tell me, I'm so nation. No matter the location. From OAKLA to LV, I'm a Raider. Ain't shit you can tell me, I'm a Raider. Ain't shit you can tell me, I'm so nation. No matter the location. This guy's the